Tanker traffic through the Strait of Hormuz has plunged 84%. Ships are holding position, insurers are pulling back. The strait has not fully closed, but the chain reaction that follows may already be underway. Anchored tankers now dot the Gulf, their engines quiet, waiting for orders that never come. Marine traffic overlays show a sharp drop in movement, just 9 commercial ships crossing the strait each day, down from the usual 60 or more. Instead of steady flows, vessels linger off Bandar Abbas, loitering an average of 12 hours, sometimes much longer. Operators describe mounting frustration and risk. One tanker manager puts it plainly: every hour a tanker sits idle at anchor is an hour of revenue lost and a risk to crew safety. Naval reinforcements arrive as the hours pass. The US Fifth Fleet has added 8 Arleigh Burke-class destroyers and 2 P-3C patrol planes to the region. The Royal Navy's HMS Daring and 2 Type 45 destroyers now shadow Iranian fast attack boats, while the UAE and Saudi Arabia launch joint patrols. Iran, in turn, moves missile boats and coastal batteries into position. Insurance brokers respond to these signals. Some suspend cover, others triple war risk premiums. The normal rhythm of the strait has stalled, and every ship still waiting is a sign of how quickly uncertainty spreads from isolated attacks to the entire system. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow passage, just 21 nautical miles across at its tightest point. Through this single channel, about 1/5 of all oil traded by sea moves each day. There are no backup routes with the same capacity. The world's biggest oil exporters, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, and Iraq, depend on this corridor to reach buyers in Asia, Europe, and beyond. The strait's 2 shipping lanes, each only 2 miles wide, leave little margin for error. Every ship that slows or stops here does more than delay a single cargo. It signals a risk that ripples outward, touching fuel prices, trade flows, and even inflation around the world. When hesitation sets in at Hormuz, it is not just a local problem. The entire global economy feels the tremor, because so much energy depends on this one fragile point. Within hours, the strait can shift from tense to impassable. The first tool is sea mines. Small, fast boats can lay hundreds of mines in less than 2 days, often at night, in patterns that make detection difficult. Insurance underwriters react quickly. A single mine report triggers a war risk alert, and many ships halt within 12 hours. Next come anti-ship missiles. Coastal batteries and mobile launchers can be readied in under 48 hours. Once on alert, a missile launch can happen instantly. Even a single strike, or just a credible threat, is enough for most carriers to cancel or reroute voyages. Swarm tactics add another layer. Within 1 to 3 days, dozens of fast attack boats can gather, armed and ready to harass or disable any vessel that tries to run the gauntlet. These boats are hard to track and even harder to stop without risking escalation. Meanwhile, cyber disruption can move even faster. Disabling port systems or spoofing navigation signals can freeze traffic in as little as 12 hours. Each method alone creates risk. Combined, they can turn the Strait of Hormuz from a bottleneck into a wall in less than a week. 3 million barrels of oil per day are now off the market. That's nearly 1 out of every 5 barrels traded by sea, gone overnight. As tankers sit idle and insurers pull back, the price of Brent crude surges. Within a single trading session, oil jumps more than $10 a barrel. The risk premium alone now sits between $10 and $15 per barrel, according to analysts at Citi and ICIS. Freight costs follow suit. The daily rate for a very large crude carrier, or VLCC, rockets past $220,000, triple the average from a week ago. Most shipping companies refuse to transit the strait, choosing instead to reroute around the Cape of Good Hope. That detour adds 12 to 16 days to each journey, straining supply chains and pushing up costs for everything from gasoline to plastic. A commodities strategist puts it simply: oil prices reacted like a flashbang. Brent surged $2 in a single session, and volatility indices spiked to levels not seen since 2020. The numbers make clear what's at stake. Every day the strait stays closed, the world pays more for energy, and the pressure on global markets grows. Convoy escorts are now the only way to move ships through the strait. Each tanker groups with others, shadowed by destroyers and patrol planes. The doctrine is clear. Armed warships lead, minesweepers follow, and every vessel stays in tight formation. But the risks are high. Clearing a single minefield can take weeks, especially if new mines appear each night. Insurance underwriters sometimes lower premiums for escorted convoys, but only if the route is declared safe. A former Rules of Engagement advisor explains that escorts deter attacks, but every close call raises the chance of a miscalculation. Even with layered defenses, no navy can guarantee total safety. Each passage is a test of nerve and timing. Three futures now hang in the balance. A short disruption would see mines cleared and insurance restored within days, letting oil flow again. A prolonged crisis means ships remain anchored, war risk premiums soar, and attacks continue for weeks. If strikes widen or a formal blockade is declared, the standoff could stretch into months, drawing in more navies and sending oil prices past $110 a barrel. Today, global energy flows depend on a fragile line of water. As tension rises, the world's stability hangs on decisions made in narrow channels. Tomorrow's shock could start here. If you enjoy exploring the geography shaping global power, consider subscribing to Strategic Geography so you don't miss future videos. You can also explore the other videos on the channel to discover more strategic locations around the world. And tell us, which strategic location should we explore next?